being forced to do a video today because I really don't feel good. I really haven't had time, and that's why being banned from Facebook is really inconvenient right now. But I'm gonna mention this first, and then talk about the last couple of games. For 10 plus years, really forever, I've always talked about players being accountable. This season, more so than any. Every video, every Facebook Live, all my posts, accountability with the players. This player is bad right now. This player is shooting his team out the game. With accountability of the players, if the players can't hold themselves self-accountable, there's somebody in charge that allows them to do it. Because if the coach truly is telling them what to do and they're not doing it, why are they still out there? When there's other players available, I don't care. We have 34 losses. It can't get no worse by replacing that player with somebody else. That player ain't doing that player is better, but we're losing. Let's put somebody in who might not be as good, but maybe will do what they're told. Because that's the whole point of coaching, right? You can't tell me that, oh, well, you can't say that the coach ain't telling these players what to do. Okay, let's prove it. Let's put some players in that do what the coach says and see if we play better. That's all I'm asking. That's all I've been asking all season freaking long. But we steadily play these 7.5-man rotations, but that's besides the point. Here's how you show here's how you can prove accountability. High school, player ain't playing like they're supposed to or playing bad, you taking out the game. College, same doggone thing. I don't care about how much money they're making. If they're not averaging what they usually average, they're hurting your team. Especially if they don't play defense. The best way to show accountability, what accountability looks like, is when you play pickup basketball. Right? It's when you play pickup basketball. Because if you play like crap, and your team loses, you're not getting picked up again. Not by that team and not by nobody else, because you've been shown you ain't really all there tonight for whatever reason. Even if you're a good player, sometimes. Now, if you're a good player and it's pickup basketball, they might, he had a bad night. He was just off. That was the first game. But what if it wasn't first game? Right? And it's all night. Eventually, you're not going to get picked anymore because you're trash that night. You need to go ahead. There's been nights when I play pickup basketball, I'll be like, no, you know what? I don't got it. I'm out, y'all. See y'all. Bye. I'm out. I'm not going to stink the gym up with my bad basketball play. But more so than that, when you're having an off night, you do the other things. How many times do we have to hear that from everybody else but the players and or the coach? Because other players, when they have an off night, you know what they do? They play better defense. They hustle more. They grab more rebounds. They set screens for their teammates. They do those extra things to help the team win, because winning is everything. By any means necessary. When I would start off the night cold, I would dive to the basket, go into the post. Because I can shoot, but I can also post up. You're not getting around me. Post up, cut, I'm going to get you the ball. We don't do that. We can't do it. We won't do it. Is it being coached? I don't see how. Tape says otherwise. All I'm asking for is if the players aren't self-accountable, they have no self-awareness, the coach, by definition, as the head of the team, the head of the snake, has to do something about it. That's the point of being a coach. You have control over that. You can stop it. You can prove to everybody that nobody is above reproach. You keep seeing Bogey shoot 1 for 7 from 3 and Gallo shooting out the team this season multiple games. Trey has shot the team out of games multiple times. Kind of recently. But they still out there though. Right, giving you 20 plus minutes, 2-3 points. And it wasn't stopping nobody. But we have other players. Play them more than 2 minutes. And find out if they will play a little bit more defense for you. Hey, I need some defense. These guys out here right now ain't playing no defense. I need defense right now. I need some stops. We have the 27th ranked defense in the league. Right now, we are top 10 in offense. We're 7th, I believe. If we were playing top 15 defense, we wouldn't have 34 losses, y'all. We wouldn't have 25 losses, I don't think. If we were playing top 15 defense, we would be a 40-plus win team right now, is my point. Just like the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are playing top 12 defense right now. They have I think they won last night. So that's 40 wins. I believe they won. I don't know. I didn't check the score. I know old boy had 56 points or something. No, he had 60 points. Ant didn't do anything that game. The Dallas Mavericks playing top 6 defense right now. Top 7. Look what they're doing this year compared to last year. They were 22nd in defense last year and looked all of it. They're playing defense this year, and look how much in the Western Conference where they are right now. And you mean to tell me that if Coach Nate actually is teaching and demanding certain things on the defensive end and it's not translating, that he's supposed to just let it go? Like the song, let it go. What? No. He has to hold players accountable. He's the coach. If the players aren't going to do it, somebody has to take over control of the team. Otherwise, why are you there? If you're the manager, you're the owner, you're the CEO of a company right now, you're a supervisor, whatever you want to call it, but you're a leader of men and women, and somebody on your team isn't doing right, you really going to just let them keep messing it up for everybody else? You have goals, you have quotas, whatever it is, and that person is holding you back all the time? You're not going to do something? You're just going to let it go. That's what you're saying. Because that's what I hear. The Atlanta Hawks barely won. You got people saying, I don't care how close the win was, a win's a win's a win. Ugly. We have to try to win a playing game, guys. This is why it's disturbing. We lost against that Portland team that had Anthony Simmons on it. And Trey had 56 and lost that game. Where was everybody at then? We couldn't beat Portland then. You barely beat Portland now without Anthony Simmons and just a whole bunch of just guys. Just guys out there. How many losses does Portland have? And don't even let me get started about Indy. Are you kidding me? At home? I can almost understand if it was in Indiana, but this was at home. And if not, but for 2 monumental games from Trae Young, we would have lost both of those games at home. Man, I'm feeling terrible. Both of those games at home and out the playoffs. Because the only reason we're in the playoff scenario is because Washington's been so bad. But guess what? Washington even plays better defense than us. All the other teams play better defense than us. Detroit plays better defense than us, and they're below us. Just by the numbers, the rating, or whatever you want to call it. But all the other teams that are definitely in the playoffs play much better defense than us. Chicago, so, but they play better defense than us. I think they're 20th. We're 27th. Come back to me when we're playing top 15 defense all the time because, again, missing shots is not defense. Hoping the other team misses shots, that's the only reason we won the Indiana game. Besides the monumental game from Trae Young. The other team missed just enough shots. Portland had us down by double digits, didn't they? How was that possible with who we had on our side? Are we... seriously? So don't come at me talking about accountability if the players can't hold themselves self-accountable and don't have the self-awareness to stop the craziness. Then the coach has to take control, and we are not injured like that. I can understand if nobody else could come in the game. We only have 9 people. We only have 7 people healthy. And you're playing a 7.5-man roster for real. But that's not true. That hasn't been true for a month and a half plus. We've been healthy. You put people in your starting lineup that ain't going to be productive at the end of the day to help out. I don't even feel like doing it. It doesn't matter now. As far as the shot chart for last night, is just to kind of see who did what. But like I usually would do. But I've said it. When I used to do, before I got banned from Facebook, that's what I would do. I would go through first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter just to break it down. Be like, what in the world? If this person is 1 for 7 from 3, Nate let that happen. Because he could have said, stop shooting. And then I'm going to say this. Last night, it looked like for a short period of time, that's what happened. Because last night, there were periods of times where the team actually drove to the basket more than I ever have all season. It was crazy. I was like, I must be smoking and drinking at the same time, even though I don't smoke and not drinking. It was crazy. I was like consecutive possessions almost. Instead of pulling up for another 3 that we're not hitting, drive to the basket, kick. Drive to the basket, kick. Somebody said something. And I'm like, why can't that be said all the time for 48 minutes? Because we'd be the most unstoppable team ever. We have the best passer in NBA history on our team. Trae should have had 20 assists last night. Besides the people who just missed shots and layups and alley-oops. All together, everybody was just missing shots last night, whatever. But you let a team that has 40-plus losses shoot 60% for almost the whole game, not playing defense. So on offense, at the very least, let's stop playing into what Portland is doing and quit chucking up shots when we can get to the basket. How many times did we see Hunter with the little bunny? Why can't we do that all the time? We could do it all the time. You cut to the basket. You move it around the ball. Dominique's been saying it all season long. Nate is letting that happen. If he's teaching it, if he's coaching it, if he's telling the guys to do it and then they get on the floor and don't do it, accountability has to come from the top if the players won't do it themselves. I'm holding the players accountable. I can't take the players out. Only Nate can do that. Only Nate McMillan can do that. That's the only way he can teach. It's a teaching tool. If you're not going to do it, that's proven to be effective and successful with the roster that we currently have, then you can't play that much because you're hurting the team. Are we trying to win or not? Are we trying to make the playoffs or not? Because up to now, we have 34 losses saying that we're not. Defense wins championships. And from last year to this year, we're not putting no effort on defense. Period. Compared to last year. Because last year, you still had these same deficiencies. Difference was, we did rotate last year. We did fight through screens last year. We did. We blocked out a lot more. Your post defense was better. Clint Capella was a post defensive fiend, or was it fiend last year? This year, not so much. He don't stop people like he used to. He just don't. He has a block here and there, but blocks. We need the post defense. We need people not being able to get to their spot. We need people not getting layups. And that hasn't been happening that much. It hasn't. We need that. We need the stats that don't show up in the box score kind of defense in the post with him. You get that from Big O a whole lot more, which is why I say he needs to be starting. From that Milwaukee game that started that 7-game streak, I wrote the article. I showed you the numbers. You saw what Big O did again last night. Big O can rebound, he can block shots, he can finish at the basket. He can do all those things. And he can play post defense against the best in the league. He's shown that. He's proved it. But if you're not going to do that, okay, fine. But you can't keep letting people not play defense and then shoot you out the game at the same time. It just is impossible to do that. That's not going to work. We have 34 losses to prove it hasn't worked. It has not worked like that. Nate just letting them do whatever. And that's why I said last night, for the first time, I was like, wow, if we could only just do this all game long, nobody could stop us doing this. What was my saying last year? Nobody can beat the Hawks but the Hawks last year. And that's exactly what happened. No one beat us until the Eastern Conference Finals. Because I had said it for 2 months straight, didn't I? Y'all remember? I posted it and I said it on all my lives. And I was almost proven right. We almost made the finals last year on that premise. Only the Hawks can beat the Hawks. This year, we don't have that, what we had last year. We just don't. And no one can tell me otherwise because we have 34 losses and playing 27th ranked defense all season long. We don't get stops. The other team just misses shots. That'd be a nice little track right there. That's the difference. That's the difference. Now, last night, TLC got some playing time, and he played some defense. He played some great on-the-ball defense on Hart. I didn't watch the first half because I was in Bible meeting. I don't know it was right on Hart primarily the whole first half or whatever for Hart to have 25 points or whatever. Because if that's the case, that's a problem. But besides all that, why can't we do what happened in that third quarter basically all the time on the defensive end where you can stop the other team? That team should never have been that close to us. That team was undermanned and underwhelmed when it came to talent, supposedly, per what they used to have, supposedly, compared to our team, which we basically got everybody, supposedly. And we couldn't pull away from them at all. And they had us down, I believe, down by 16 at a certain point. So, again, y'all can't tell me that I can't be upset and not happy with that situation because, and then people are saying, well, Trey just had this great game and nobody's talking about it. You barely beat Portland. That's why nobody's talking about it. That's why. And you've been under 500 since December. That's why nobody's talking about it. It's taken away from all of those things when he has those accomplishments at this point. Because you're not competitive and nobody sees you as a threat. So nobody cares. The TV games that we were able to get because of last year, none of them mattered anymore because look at where we at. This is a problem and it's been a problem all season. We just won 3 games in a row for the first time in forever. No, not jumping up and down because of that. Because of Indy and Portland almost beat us. Can you imagine how much worse this would be if they had won those games against us at home? Season beyond over. But here it is. We can barely beat these teams that have much lesser records than what we have. How are we expected to win a play-in game against any other teams above us at this point, who all play better defense than we do? We gotta hope that KD misses shots. Is that likely? Enough shots to lose one game? Because that's a play-in game we're talking about. Charlotte. They have a whole squad there. They ain't been playing too well, but still above us. Or are they? Let's go ahead and pull that up. Let's see where everybody is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're below us now. I don't believe they're in 10th place, but let's see. But as I'm waiting for my computer to boot up, that's the whole point. We have to look at trying to play 2 play-in games, then go and win a series. I can't even talk. I'm feeling so bad right now. What has shown you any consistency to say that we can do that? Our accomplishment for the year is that we beat 2 really below 500 average teams in a row at home, barely scraping by. Dang, Lakers couldn't beat Toronto for us. That's messed up. Standings. I went blank. So the Hornets have been, well, they've won 2 in a row though, the Hornets, and they just won their last game real big. So they're right below us. They're right there, though. Nets have won 3 in a row. Raptors have won 4 in a row now. Cleveland's in the 6th spot. They won last night. You have to, you really kind of depending on the whole season. The Raptors are 8 games above 500. We can't beat the Raptors so far. We've shown that, right? So we're depending on a playing game against them, possibly, in that matchup. The Nets have KD, and they might have that other guy eventually. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. And then you have the Hornets. You really trust that? That's asking a lot, y'all. It's asking a lot. I haven't seen anything to make me, truly think that beyond a shadow of a doubt, we got a game in the bag. Because we could lose against all these teams. And we shouldn't be able to say that. You see what I'm saying? That's my point. That's my whole point. It shouldn't even be close. But here we are with 34 losses and just now getting to 500 for the first time since December. It's March, y'all. It's almost April. So excuse me for not being head over heels like Tears for Fears. Shout out to Andre 3000, right? But I'm just trying to be level-headed about the whole situation because this is a situation. So again, players, if they're not going to hold themselves self-accountable and take some pride in defense, that's what I've been saying all freaking season. Why you keep letting your guy be wide open because you refuse to actually have your face to your guy. Your back is actually to your guy, and now you're running 10 feet to try to throw your hand in the air. That's the times where you choose to maybe even run. So many times I've watched players just stand and watch their opponent shoot a wide open 3. Not even put a hand up, not even run. You can shoot it, guy. You can shoot it. Whatever track you want to play in your head while you do the shimmy. And what? You won't even run over there. But mostly that's because you just won't play defense. You don't care. How many times have we had to watch players overhelp for no apparent reason? 3 months ago, Nate finally brought it up about overhelping and nothing changed. GM called a team out on defense twice. Nothing's changed. We're 27th in defense. Tell me where the change has been. We had an instance in that 7-game win streak where we were playing top 15 defense. We won 7 in a row as a result. Why can't we do that every night? Somebody tell me. Why can't we do it every night? One of the primers of that streak was the fact that Big O was playing more minutes. His energy on defense translated out to everybody else. It fell down, trickle down effect, domino effect, however you want to call it. And you could see it. It was palatable. I can't even talk. It was there. I was going to use one of my college words again. Palpable. You could taste it. I wrote a whole article about Big O to show you this is what's actually happening. Look what he did with Greek Freak. Greek Freak didn't do nothing with Big O. But here we are. Nothing consistent. When stuff is going right, you pull back. You stop it. This right here is working, but now you're not going to do it no more. You're not going to demand, hey guys, we can't stop doing this because this is working. No, I'm going to just shoot this three anyway. I'm going to just pull up. Pull up. Pull up on me. Is that what the kids say? Oh, since I'm on the computer now, I guess I can go ahead and do this real quick too. Just so I can chat for the sake of it. Because I want the team to win. Oh, they did win that game. They almost scored 150 points. I just want to see the team not just win. I want to see them win it all. And this season has been beyond disappointing for all the reasons I've already mentioned this season. Bogey went 2 for 13 from the floor. Went 1 of 8 from 3. 1 of 8. Had 9 points. He didn't start. That would have been a night for him to start because for whatever reason, DeLon Wright played 30 minutes and gave you 4 points in the starting lineup. That's another reason why, at the end of the day, that team was close. We needed somebody else in that starting lineup to produce. Lou, for almost the minutes that he was in the game, didn't have any points. Ended up with 4. He did have 3 assists, 3 steals, though, so he helped out on defense at least. Who's this person right here? Oh, TLC hit his couple of shots. He had 5, so that helped out. But he played some decent defense for the minutes. 7 minutes. He played 7 minutes. Played some defense. Helped out. Big O had 12, a steal, 6 assists, 2 offensive rebounds for his 19 minutes. Imagine if he had played more than 19 minutes. 60% from the field. Big O is the only one on the team that shot over 50%. Trey was right there at 48%. That's mostly because he shot 5 for 14 from 3. We just chucking it up, guys. I'm sorry. We can't just keep. We shot 25% from 3. You know what the other team shot from 3 last night? 41%. They were shooting 60% from 3 for a lot of that night, though. They shot 50% from the field. You know what we shot? Bob said it. Bob said a lot of the difference in this game is that Portland is shooting 50%. We're shooting 30%. We shot 36% last night from the field. There's no way in the world that should have been allowed. That could have been stopped. Stop shooting threes. Kevin went 2 for 9. Accountability. You hear me right now? Kevin went 2 for 9. DeAndre went 3 for 9. Trey went 5 for 14. And Bogey went 1 for 8. Tell me, how does that work? Stop the madness. That wasn't necessary. You know what was necessary? What DeAndre was doing. Dribble, fillet. And if somebody stopped it, kick out, do it again. Wasn't there a song in the 70s? Do it again. I can't remember who sings it right now off the top. I'm pretty good about that stuff, but I'm sick. I don't feel good. But they did it for a few minutes. Consecutive possessions. Drive, kick. Kick, push, coast, right? It was right there. Could have started Skylar at shooting guard, gave you a good 10 strong points. You know he can do that. He pass the ball, he handle the ball. He's calm, cool, collected. We have other players that can help us out. We do. We're not hurt. I'm looking at the rest of these stats. But again, I'm just asking for the team to play solid defense for the whole game. I just don't think how is a team above reproach from doing something that all the other teams are doing and they're winning as a result? Why should we absolve our team from doing that? I want to see my team play hard for 48 minutes, not just for one quarter, especially against bad teams. Especially against bad teams. Especially against bad teams. Teams are bad, and we can't get around bad teams, much less the good teams, the gooder teams. And we're supposed to think that, how are we going to win a playing game or two? How are we going to play a series and think we're going to win we're going to get 4 wins out of a series, 7 games? How? Playing the defense that we do and the offense that we play. We score, but scoring and offense are 2 different things in my book. We are not. We self-trap Trey on offense. We will not move. We're just stuck in the mud. It's the most disgusting, horrifying, depressing thing I've ever seen in my basketball life, to continue to see the best passer in the league and nobody wants to go and get the ball and help him out. Nobody wants to cut to the basket. Nobody wants to rotate on offense to get. He should be getting 20 assists a night. I said it in Trey's summer league, that if in summer league he had anybody who could hit some shots, Trey would be getting 25 assists in summer league. I said that. I remember. I said it on my radio show, public. I said it. I synced it. But we won't move. I'm going to stand on this corner of the 3. I'm going to stand at the top on the corner of the 3. I'm going to stand on the opposite top of the corner on the 3. I'm going to stand on the opposite side on the baseline on the 3. And this is where we're going to stand. We're going to just see if Trey can get around the double team by himself. And if he does, maybe a player will come and try to cover him, and then my man will leave, and I'll be wide open for a 3 that I'm not going to hit right now because I'm off. That's our offense. That is our offense. I see it every night. We saw it last night. Except for a little bit of a stretch where we actually drove and kicked. We won't run pick and roll until the other team stop it. I saw the Utah Jazz run the pick and roll forever. We don't screen. Why don't we screen? I made a living screening people. I took pride in screens. Sometimes I didn't even shoot. I'm just set you a good screen. You don't know when my screen is coming. I'm like Space Ghost. I'm just come out of nowhere. Or RKO out of nowhere. Arms folded, wide. You ain't getting around that. And my guy's going to hit his shot every time. I think screens should count as assists. I said that the other day. Screens should count as an assist if the guy hits the shot. I took pride in that. I've won games doing that stuff. Run the picket fence at him. Old school wins all the time. That's all I'm saying. Mo on Twitter, creativeness on offense. Is that too much to ask? Why are we stuck in an arcane society where we have the best point guard in the league and we're running backwards on offense? What happened from last year? And that's why I kept saying the coaches, what's going on? Where are our specialists on offense and defense? We can't even do inbounds play. We can't even come out of timeouts halfway looking decent. Think about that. That Detroit game comes to mind. all of a sudden. By the way, we saw why John Collins had one of the worst shooting nights of his whole freaking career. John Collins has the best field goal percentage on our team, and he shoots jumpers as well as being in the post. Clint don't shoot no jumpers, right? All of our other guys shoot jumpers. John has the best field goal percentage on our team. He's basically has always had that. But he goes 0 for 9, not hit not one last shot. We saw that hand, right? And then he came back and played the next night too. I think he had 9 points or something like that. He was trying to play through it. He was trying to play through his injuries. But whatever. Anyway. I just want to see the team play well to their capabilities. And that hasn't happened this season. And however many times Trey has to say it, or Clint has to say it, or John has to say it, or Bogey has to say it, or Nate has to say it, it hasn't been translating out to the doing. Effort. All these other teams are out efforting us. Neek has said it like 1 billion times. Man, the other team is playing with more energy than us. Oh, well, the Hawks didn't come out ready for this game. That's what we got to hear from Nate from the presser. Didn't have the guys ready. We weren't ready to play. How? If the players aren't going to be accountable, you got to make a decision. Nate might not be likable, but you're the coach. Who cares? The Hawks could go 0-82. How many times have you heard me say this? The Hawks could go 0-82 each year for life. I've been watching basketball forever. If the Hawks had went 0-82 each season, but they played hard each night, played defense, solid offense, and they still get beat by the other team, so be it. I'm still watching the games. But why do you want to keep watching games where the team, obviously, it don't matter to them on the defensive side of the ball? We had to hear our general manager say it. You know how painful that really was to actually hear him say, basically, this team don't care about defense? It doesn't matter to them? Don't that hurt? That hurt me. I'm not an NBA player. You would think the pride would kick in at that point and say, we can't ever let this happen again. But you know what it did? Subsequently, it happened. 25 losses, 26 losses, 27 losses, 28 losses. We have 34 losses in the NBA season, y'all. In an 82-game schedule. That can't be acceptable. Can it? Because think about this. We were 14-20 a year ago, and it wasn't acceptable. And something was done about it. That's all I'm asking. Do something. Where's the little meme with the kid with the stick? Do something. Move. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see each night. And if we still lose because of playing to the utmost capabilities and the utmost heightness that you could ever play within yourself, fine. We're getting beat. We played our best. Fine. I can accept that. I'll watch that brand of basketball. You just want to see the team play hard each night, 48 minutes, like all these other teams do, with passion, with the goal to win. Stop people. My pride is not going to let you hit another jumper. You, sir, are dropping point. The Bulls game, the second Bulls game, after we got beat the first time, where DeMar DeRozan went 15 for 21. Right? The second game, we're doubling him to get the ball out of his hands? Wait a minute, what's this sorcery? What? Why couldn't we do that the first game? He went 15 for 21. That was the guy that was beating you. That was the guy that was unstoppable. What? You know what he did the second game? Went 10 for 20 and we won that game. 10 for 20, 15 for 21. It's a difference, isn't it? And all it was getting the ball out of his hands a few times, a few possessions. He still had, I think he scored 22 points instead of 30, whatever the stupidness was before. Had to work for it. You're the one guy that's hurting us. We're not going to let you hurt us no more. Why do we have to let all these other guys do it? Anthony Simmons comes to mind. That was disgusting. You let Trae Young have one of the biggest games of the year and we lose that game because we would not stop the one guy that was hurting us. Let somebody else hit some shots. How many times have I said this on video? When we're out there on the court, we have scoreboard, by the way, and a shot clock when we play ball, okay? If one guy on that other team starts hitting shots consecutively, we don't let him just keep on scoring. Because we're looking at who's on that team. It's like, wait a minute, we ain't about to let them beat us. No, I'm going to start doubling him. I'm going to pull off my man immediately when he gets about to that three-point strike. Sometimes not even then. Sometimes he at half court, we're coming. You got to get the ball out your hands. Now that force that other team to rotate the ball to an open shooter and see if they can beat us on the rotation. That's what we do. What do? We do the exact opposite of that, and then we don't rotate. We won't rotate. We can't rotate. We won't move feet. We can't slide over. We can't make people. How many layups do we give up a game? Now, I know a lot of that's on Gallo. I know. But Gallo ain't in the game all the time. And we're still giving up layups. But anyway, back to the double team. If he's at the three-point line, I'm not going to say when I'm a double, but I'm going to pull off my man and then depend on someone to pick up my guy because now my guy is open. It's called a switch. Pride. If I can't stop some guy that I'm on and he's lighting me up, you know what I do? Hey, we need to switch. I'll take your man. Somebody else come get him. He's too fast for me. If that's the case, right? Because I want to win the game, right? I want to stay on the court all night. I want to be champions of the court for this night. So if it means me, you know, yeah, I was gonna try to hang with him, but he think he out here like Kevin Garnett or whatever. I can't hold him. Somebody else needs to, you know. Somebody else. He's a little too quick for me. Whatever the case is, that was a bad example because I'm a post guy. So he think he Michael Jordan out here. He too quick for me. I can handle most of the post guys, but if they're a guard, I'm not supposed to be on the guard. It's like Clint Capella, he's going to be on the guard all night? No. He can maybe do something for a few seconds, but not all night. No, that's not going to happen. Foot speed is different. When you're 6'11", you're trying to play somebody who's like Muggsy Bogues. That's not going to work. They'll dribble around you. Yeah, I can recover sometimes, but not all the time. Let's switch somebody. Take pride out of it. I'm not going to see. I'm self-accountable. I'm not going to shoot 1 for 7 from 3. If I miss 3 shots in a row, I might not shoot the rest of that game. Period. I'll come again on the next game and see if I can get hot then and shoot. I'm trying to get assists. I'm trying to help the team win. I'm going in the post. Give me the ball. I'm gonna kick it back to you. Give me the ball again. I'm going to kick it back to you. I'm waiting to see if somebody gets open. I'm telling y'all, cut. See, we never just stood around. We could never do that. It's against the rules. Rules. That's why I say, okay, if you're not going to teach it, fine them. $50,000 leaving somebody wide open. $50,000 for not cutting to the basket. Just fine people. Fine people for not rotating, not cutting. You're going to go under a screen? No, cut through that jump. Fight through it. Stay with your man. Stay with your man. Stay with your man. Because if we just did that, we wouldn't be 27th in defense. But we don't do it. We're 27th in defense. That's it. I'm going to get off of here now. I'm going to go cook me some breakfast, and I'm going to go take me a nap, and then I'm going to wake up and then go to work. Hopefully I can, because I feel terrible right now. I hold players accountable. I can't do nothing about that, though. Only Nate can. Nate needs to be holding his players accountable. If Nate is truly telling the players what to be doing and they're not doing it, it's his fault. His alone. because he's already told the players and they're not doing it. It's not translating. They have film and they let the same stuff happen again and again and again and again. That's why I keep saying there can't be no film watch. There can't be. There can't be. Because how else do you explain it? If we don't see the Hawks dipping and diving and driving to the basket against Charlotte on Wednesday, the whole game, because that works. You got the best passer in the league on your team. That works. Until they stop it and then adjust again. But we can't do that because we don't adjust for anything either, do we? Nope. We just let the same stuff happen and hope the other team misses shots. That can't be the formula. It can't be. We're better than that. We're better than that. You can't keep letting guys just shoot us out. You can't keep letting him pull up. Bogey can't just keep doing that. You got to pull him from the game and put somebody else in the game. I don't care who you put in the game. Put somebody else in the game who ain't going to do that because you're not hitting the shot. It's called momentum. It's called filling the game out. It's called situational fortitude. I don't know. Situationalism. If you can't fill that out, that's your job as a coach. Bogey, ease up on those threes. Bogey, don't shoot another three the rest of this game. I need you to pick and pop, or I need you to drive in and pull up, or I need you to pass the ball, but I can't let you shoot threes no more. Trey, stop those threes. He's the coach. Why wouldn't you? If you were playing ball, your coach would tell you that. What are you going to do? Go against it and never play again? Get kicked off the team? Or are you going to do what the coach says? Because he's the coach. You're not the coach. There's never been a player that has just walked onto the court and he ain't supposed to be getting on the court. There's no self-coaching out there, y'all. There's a coach. Michael Jordan didn't do it. Kobe didn't do it. Akeem Olajuwon didn't do it. Dirk didn't do it. Dwayne Wade. LeBron James. LeBron James ain't just checking himself in the game. Taking himself out the game. Yeah, you got the times where a player can convince the coach from, he don't want to come out right now. He wants to try to stay in the game. And every now and again, depending on the player, that's allowed every now and again. But when the coach finally says you got to come out the game, the player walks off the court. He gives high fives to everybody. He gets his towel. He puts his jacket on. He sits down, don't he? It's accountability. But also, he's the coach. Don't give me this crap. Oh, it makes millions. No, I don't care. Michael Jordan was making $33 million a year. And when Phil Jackson said, hey, time to put in your replacement, Michael Jordan goes over there, slaps everybody, and he goes to sit down. Coach is the only one who can make players accountable all the way through. All the way through. If the players aren't self-accountable and say, I'm going to stop shooting us out the game, or I'm going to play better intensity on defense and with better effort, then the coach, by definition, has to take control. And if the coach refuses to do that, he's not really the coach. And that has to be addressed. That's what it is. That's the job. Nobody forces you to take the job, but once you got the job, it's the job. I'm not going to just let somebody in my restaurant keep messing up and think they're going to stay on the schedule. I'm either going to take them off the... First of all, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to have a sit down with them. It's called a one-on-one. Right? And you're going to address what the issues are. You're holding back the team right now. You have your teammates having to cover what you're doing wrong right now. And you're doing it a lot. What's going on? What's the problem? What's going on? What's precipitating this? Because it's hurting us right now. And it's getting to the point where I got to start making decisions. I can't keep having you on shifts if you're not going to help. It's putting too much strain on the restaurant. You by yourself right now is hurting everybody. We're short-staffed already, and now you got people having to double and triple because you're not owning up to your responsibilities, sir or madam. After that talking, they're still doing it. I got to keep them off the schedule for a minute. Because maybe their money being messed up is going to make a difference. And then after that, if it's still going on, guess what? They're not there no more. Now, I know it's different in the NBA. You got contracts and everything. But hey, guess what? You can be benched. We're real good at benching people, aren't we? And I'm not saying benching them, but you just can't be in the game right now. Because you're not helping the team. How is 1 for 7 from 3 helping the team? Anybody? How? Legitimize to me, somebody, anybody, tell me how going, what did I say? 2 for 13 from the floor is helping the team win the whole game. Yes, Bogey did have 6 assists. He did have 2 steals. But wouldn't it have been better if he had not been 2 for 13 from the field? He shot 15% for the game. He was 1 for 8 from 3. That's 12%. He did hit all his free throws. But tell me how that helps the team win. Think about where when Portland was 16 points up on this, part of that was because of that shooting percentage right there, folks. Because every missed shot, guess what Portland was doing? Scoring. Capella went 4 for 12 last night. Shoot, I didn't even see that. DeAndre was 6 for 17. Kevin was 6 for 15. You hear this accountability? Lou hadn't even scored, and then he hit those couple buckets. He was 2 for 6 for the few shots that he took. Troy was 48%. He got to shoot 31 times because of everybody else that night. But guess what? None of that would have mattered if we had played defense. Defense would have masked that shooting. Defense would have masked the fact that we shot 36% for the game. We would have won this game easily if we had just played standard defense. We let the other team shoot 60% for most of that game, though, and almost blew us out. If Trey hadn't had 46 points, think about that. What if Trey had just had 30 points? What did we win by? Well, that was close to the free throws. We won 122 to 113. Take 15 points off of our score. We lose that game by 5 or 6 points. What if Trey had just scored 20 points? We get blown out by 15. You see how that works? But if we had just played defense, all of that would have been negated if we had just played defense. That's all I'm asking. Play defense the whole night. Play some quality offense all night. Adjust to what the other team is doing. Adjust to what we are doing. When you see it ain't working, stop it. Not just call timeout. Call timeout and say, hey, guys, let's stop shooting those threes. Let's drive more. That's working. Especially with this team. That's working. They can't stop us. And if you have a wide open shot, okay, fine. Because of the kick. Not just because you got the ball, I'm going to just shoot a 3. I got the ball now, I'm going to shoot a 3. I don't care. I'm going to shoot this doggone 3. No! Stop the madness. All right, let me go cook breakfast for real. And then I'm going to go sleep. And I'm going to go get up and go to work. But for real, I make players accountable all the time. I've been doing it for years. I call it out for what it is. I'm biased, but not that biased not to bring it out. When you're playing bad, you're playing bad. And we've had guys play bad all season. And I've been noting it. It's documented. Unless you don't read or you don't watch any of my videos or Facebook Lives before I got banned. or listen to any of my radio shows. This season more so than ever because we have 34 losses. I've been counting it down. I brought these things up countless times, especially the defensive stuff, especially playing ghost defense. I've been saying that for years. This is something trained. Look at where they're standing. There's no way in the world this should be acceptable. Okay, let me put it like this. That can be acceptable if you're able to actually rotate. And we can't do it. We're terrible at it. If you're going to play that kind of defense, you got to be ready to move. You got to be able to be at your spot and then help. And we don't do that. So you can't play defense like that. You can't keep looking over here and seeing what's going on and having your man behind you ready for the shot when the ball rotates around the court. Touch pass. 3 people helping on 1 player. He ain't about to do nothing. And the league knows that's what we're going to do. And we won't adjust. We won't do it. Coaching. Bump the players being accountable for that. That's teachable stuff right there. That's film study right there. That's going after the game and saying, hey guys, we're not going to leave the gym. We know what we're about to do. We're about to practice this. What are they doing in practice? That's what I'm saying. This stuff, we were talking about muscle memory. It's the same thing on defense too. The qualities of defense, it ain't being taught. And if it is, the players ain't doing it, somebody got to pay the price. Somebody got to get their minutes cut. There got to be something. And that can only come from the coach. Only come from the coach. I just want to see the team successful, y'all. That's all I want. I just want them to play hard for 48 minutes. I'm not asking a lot. I'm watching the game, supporting. If I was paying tickets for the game, I'd be even more animate about it if I had paid for season tickets this year. And that's the effort that I'm seeing each night. Oh, well, Chris, they've won 6 in a row at home and everything. Okay, yeah, that is true. That is good. If we actually get into a playoff series, that might bode well for us, maybe. But if we have a playing game to have to worry about, not so much, because we're probably not playing at home. We don't win on the road a whole heck of a lot, have we? Yeah, I need my glasses real quick. I don't want that box. The Atlanta Hawks are 12-21 on the road. So, yeah, that doesn't bode well for us in the playing game. That's on the road. And we play 27th ranked defense. Excuse me, that doesn't bode well for us, does it? No. Players need to be self-accountable. If they are not, the coach has to hold them accountable. He's the only one who he has the power to do it. And if he doesn't do it, general manager has to hold him accountable, and the owner has to hold the general manager accountable. I've already said it. Travis should have did something. He should have did something. But now he's kind of stuck with where he's at. And basically, we all have to hope for the best, I guess, at this point. And I'm not really cool with that, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Let me get off here for real. This is an hour. I'm gonna talk to y'all another time. I don't know when. I have no idea. Maybe April. I'll be back on the air, or at least on Facebook Live. You know, Mark Zuckerberg don't like me, so it is what it is. Peace.